gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. My hair looks very disheveled today. I don't know what it is. It's just the wet, wintry weather, or I didn't, it's just the way it goes sometimes. I hope you guys are doing well out there. We got a cool show today, looking at the markets, and I've got some big alpha drop today. So we're going to talk about that. Stay tuned. It's going to be pretty awesome. So yeah, if you haven't got into our strategy club, join up today. The link is in the video description. It is pretty awesome. We're going to talk more about that later too. But man, oh man, it is going to be fun. Today. A big alpha drop coming today. Hope you guys enjoy it. For those that watch the show, a special treat. That's all we can say. In fact, I'm probably going to have 2 alpha drops. Should we have 2 alpha drops? Put up your hand. Get in the chat there if you want 2 alpha bombs in the chat there. Let us know. We're going to build that out, flesh that out. We've got Hexcavator in the house there. Hey. Hexcavator is here. Never mind. Never fear. Good to see you, Hexcavator. We got Crypto Dan in the house as well. Hey, Superman. I could see Crypto Dan. Big shout out to you also. And yeah, get into the chat there. Make it lively. And don't forget, you guys know what to do. Share the channel around on X. That's all it takes. 1 minute to just push that repost button. If you're on YouTube as well, reshare and, get the algorithm working for us on crypto and PulseChain. That's all we like to see there. We got Brian, our community leader in the house there. Good day, Brian. What's up, folks? Woohoo. Good to see Brian as always. Wookie as well, our other community leader. Big shout out to you, Wookie. Wookie is about to make pumpkin soup. How about that? Because it's winter here, right? It's winter here in New Zealand, and Wookie's in New Zealand. So yeah, pretty cool. We got Hexagram in the house says we like the alpha. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do 2 alpha drops today. 2 alpha drops because you guys are here watching. You guys will hear about it, and then everyone else, all those tens of thousands of other PulseChain people, won't know anything. Well, at least for a while. Anyway. So let's get into it. We're going to have a lot of fun today on the show. Without further ado, get into the chat there, make it lively, as I say. Repost the show on X one more time. Let's do that. Bam. And, of course, let's get out there about and check out what's happening here. Let me make sure I'm in the right setup here before we move on. Let's see here. What did I get to? Oh, yeah. Well, I think we're good. All right, so let's get into the first little piece of alpha drop. We're going to drop that early, and then we're going to drop the other one a little bit later. How about that? Is that the way we'll do it? Or will I just tell everything at the beginning? I don't know. We shall see. We got Valentine House there. Greetings all. I'm here for the alpha drops. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. And take note of these. These are particularly big. All right, let's get into it today. Let's have a little good time. Well, the first alpha drop is around SolidX, and I did post this out, but I'm going to tell you more than what I put in this post. A little bit more here. So we got SolidX, of course. This is one of our 2 big whales. Now, if you're thinking about strategies, one strategy would be to follow whales. And, of course, we've got Firewhale here with SolidX. And as you guys know, a good friend of SolidX or Firewhales is Randy Alasky, one of the big influencers in the PulseChain space. He's a crypto veteran. Is very knowledgeable, and yeah, there was SolidX. I put this out yesterday. It's going to be massive on PulseChain, and I just want to highlight how massive this will be. On PulseChain, I think it's going to be truly one of the juggernauts on PulseChain. It's backed obviously by Firewhale, one of the big whales. And this could be big. So they're going to be coming out with a whole ecosystem. So think about this as an ecosystem, but one that's going to be well supported, I think. So instead of an ecosystem that's sort of kind of built from nothing, this will actually have quite a bit of financial muscle behind it right from the beginning. So that's a very different kind of project launching on PulseChain, right? It's not something that's building up, but something that's already got some pretty significant financial power. So that's the first kind of piece of information or alpha drop around SolidX. It's going to be massive, and you should probably do your due diligence. Nothing, of course, is financial advice, but you must. I'm just highlighting you the potential size of this opportunity could be massive, right? Massive. And if you're after those big gains, this could be something that you're after, right? So they're going to be having staking coming up. Randy Alasky already leaked that side of it. that staking is coming up for SolidX. Now, I have a little bit of inside information that I can't release, unfortunately, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. But I'm just trying to say it in certain roundabout ways, let's say. We got also epic referrals are going to be there, 30% referrals. So imagine someone plays $100, they lose $100, $30 going to go to you as the referrer. So just remember that's going to be pretty viral from that point of view. And this could be picked up by a very big, could go viral, right? Could be picked up by just so many people, influencers, community people with big networks. I mean, just a word of mouth from people. It could be massive, right? Also, we're expecting mega marketing as well, a big marketing budget, and this could be in the seven figures, right? This could be in the seven figures. We'll find out, but that is potentially huge. And I don't have any inside information in particular on the size. I have been told a number, but I don't want to put that out there because it's I don't know for sure, right? Didn't hear I heard it secondhand rather than firsthand, so just take note of that. But that could be pretty big. Obviously, whales could be involved here because we've got Firewhale. He's one of the big whales on PulseChain. So we've got whales involved here. And of course, whales know other whales, right? Typically. So that is going to be pretty big. Influencers, of course, this is going to be very big for influencers to pick up. Very big, right? 30% referral, massive for influencers. We don't have a lot of referrals on PulseChain, and I think it's definitely a feature out there that we want more of. So if you're a developer or founder out there, if you've got you can't just do referrals for anything, right? It's got to be something that's going to probably pick up pretty well, like a pretty good idea. And so, yeah, the referrals here, definitely a cool feature we'll see more of, right? Then we've got, obviously, and it's going to be an ecosystem, so we're going to have multiple products in this ecosystem, and they've got a lot on the fire, things that we haven't even heard about as far as I know. Obviously, we just had the staking leaking around SolidX, and of course, that's going to be pretty huge. Now, I've got OmniChain here, and it's not OmniChain, it's supposed to be OmniChain. I don't know what happened, but we've got OmniChain, so it's going to be, on multiple chains, and therefore, it's all going to come back, as far as I can understand, back to the original SolidX token, meaning that's OmniChain, not multi-chain, right? So we're not duplicating SolidX, as far as I can tell at the stage. It's just going to be on other chains, and that profit's going to go back on to buy and burn SolidX. So it's a buy and burn too. So you think about, you've got staking, so it's going to supply sync for SolidX, and then you're going to have buy and burn from profits from the platforms. It's going to have more than one game, of course, not just the crash game under X game, but it's also going to have other full-on decentralized crypto casinos out there. But it's going to be supported, like I say, potentially by a very big mega marketing budget and a whole ecosystem, and of course the 30% viral referral. So this thing could be absolute juggernaut, right? These guys aren't mucking around; they are looking to do something big here, and we're going to be excited to see that. So I have, like I said, seen certain things, and I'm pretty excited about what I see so far. So yeah, it could be pretty exciting. What else did we got? Hexco says time to bevy up. Time to bevy up there, absolutely. Valiant says Axis was also saying good things about SolidX yesterday. Yeah, well, I'm taking that to another level, Valiant. I'm saying this is probably even bigger than people imagine, and this is a well-funded project in the big digits, right? The big digits is not just like an honest entrepreneur building up a cool protocol ecosystem on PulseChain. This is really potentially a big. This is one of the whales doing it, right? This is a big deal, and something that the Firewhale's wanting to do for many years, and of course he's now making it happen. So pretty exciting. Now, so keep a lookout for this. SolidX is definitely going to be potentially pretty big. Remember, I think when it opened up the first week or so, it rallied all the way to like $265. It's currently around $10. So it's with the actual platform launching. If all this goes into play, it could be pretty absolutely amazing. So, and there's more in the ecosystem that I haven't talked about because I don't know it, right? So we will wait and see what that is there. But I have seen certain things, and man, it is looking good. So keep alert out there. This is going to be one of the big projects on PulseChain. So it's kind of the wrap up there. All right, we got Brennan in the house there. What's up? Super good to see you, Brennan. Now, if you guys haven't joined the Strategy Club, join up. Links in the video description. I'm going to be dropping some more alpha in there today, and of course, only $35 a month, so very reasonable prices for massive upside alpha. And you definitely want to get into that, and you'll get access to the monthly report, get access to the top 10 index, which is performing like a boss. You're going to get access to generally daily, if not regular, intel in there as well. And of course, it's not just PulseChain, it's crypto generally. So, we're covering other chains as well, AI and things like that. So check that out. We have strategy chats as well. So it's pretty good value. Get in there, become part of the community, and make it lively. But we're dropping all the big stuff there for the big projects, and that will matter, right? So if you're speculating out in the speculating world, I suggest you strongly get into Strategy Club. So there we go. Check it out. Links in the description. Only $35 a month. Pretty good value. All right, so let's move on from here. I did post a little game of the X game, of course, and we've got the first dedicated community for X game because we've seen this as being a pretty huge opportunity, but I think it's even bigger than what we originally imagined. So join up to X Game Portal, our community for X Game today, and get all the alpha in there too. So join up today. All right, so that is pretty much it on that. So I gave the solid of that. Look, sharing is caring, right? Now, also we had Sun Minimal, right? So Sun Minimal obviously is going to be a juggernaut on PulseChain as well, potentially, if it rolls out as we're expecting. Doesn't mean that's always going to happen just on the right time. You know what corporates are like, right? Corporates get delays and all sorts of stuff. Who knows what's going on there. But I posted out the full highlight video from yesterday. It only came out hot off the press there. And the rising corporate giant Sun Minimal on PulseChain highlights at the Austrian World Summit. So we've been waiting for this video. Remember I was telling you guys about they were going to have a rooftop gathering. Well, here's the rooftop gathering. I didn't have the stuff at the beginning because it took days to come out because obviously they had some video recorder doing the stuff and it didn't come out straight away. But it's come out and I posted that video. It's got a lot of the key people like investors, the billionaire investor. It's got people that work at the company, and of course, obviously, it's got Wolfgang there on the panel with Arnold Schwarzenegger. You can see Arnold Schwarzenegger there as well, and so on. So it's got Wolfgang talking about, this is the CEO of Sun AG or Sun Minimal, talking about all the stuff that they're doing. It's got obviously they've got a little booth that's outside the. Let me see, we've got a little booth there. So this here, Christian Jagger here. I forgot that. Yeah, Christian Jagger. This guy's Christian Jagger. He's a billionaire in like Austria or somewhere like that. Some pretty rich guy, and he's the one that ended up winning the bid on the TV show in Austria. 2 minutes for €2 million, and of course, Sun Minimal broke the record with €4 million in a deal. It's a bit like Shark Tank. Think like Shark Tank, and this guy ended up buying and investing into it, and so pretty bullish to have them there. So see, pretty big money is involved with all this, right? Pretty cool. All right, so that is some stuff there, and let's jump over to. So we've got different people involved that are in the video there on the promo, and then this is the session that we wanted to see. This happened at 2 p.m. On the day, and we didn't have early footage of this, so I couldn't cover it, but we had it in this promo video, and it just shows you their kind of their presentation that they had, and that there is Wolfgang. He presents. And then they had this. I think they're like chief food biologist or whatever they call them. It's like that guy there. He's kind of the scientist. And then they had other people from the company as well. Essentially, might be the CFO or something like that. And then of course it wraps up with the Wolfgang himself in the video. So pretty good little promo there. But I've got bigger news on that. That is the other big alpha drop. So these are the big projects. So if you're thinking of like the stock market, think of the what are we thinking of? We're thinking of think of the top 7, the Magnificent 7 on the stock market, like Nvidia, for example. Apple, Google, these kind of things. These two, SolidX and Sun Minimal, in that category, right? Those are the Magnificent 7 in the PulseChain. So that's the kind of way you should be thinking about it. Now, obviously, words are cheap and actions are gold, as it so to speak. But so far, they're tracking pretty well, right? They're tracking pretty well, and this thing could be absolutely ginormous, right? So Sun Minimal, it's doing something very different too. It's like it's bringing corporate to the stock market, like stock market to PulseChain. It's really crazy, and they're doing some very interesting ways of creating value. So instead of having like buybacks on the stock market, where companies do to try and raise the share value, especially when they're underperforming of them, but in this case, they're doing buyback and burns of the token, and they've got a long-term plan, multi-year plan, right? And basically, they're taking crypto, their profits from sales, net sales in particular. And then they're buying and burning their own coin. Now, this is a big alpha drop today, so we're going to drop this to you today. They have, so they had been doing manual buy and burns, right? So they've been doing manual buy and burns on the chain, and over 10 million coins have been burned so far out of 5 billion. So there's 5 billion. Sun Mini Mill controls 1.6 billion, and then 3.4 billion are in public hands, right? A lot of that will be in their customer hands, like early customer hands under Reward 1.0 program. And so that's kind of how it's allocated. And of course, people have been buying the token since it's been listed, right? So first of all, they had an issue with the first token. I think it was STBL. They had an issue with that. That ended up getting shut down. And then they had the new token, the new Soul token, which ran, up to like a month ago or something. And then they ended up renouncing their ownership. But they had a function to fork it, and they wanted to fork it so they could then move on to the new buy and burn phase, like the ultimate phase. And so that's what's happened. We've got this new token now. Everyone got airdropped that pretty much. And so that's how we're running. Since then, of course, we then had Banxa try to get up and running and as a new on-ramp. And of course, that Banks had some issues with, because they were doing the wrong price calls. They were calling from CoinGecko and not calling from an AMM pool in particular, or at least particularly like a tech aggregator like Batias. And then they're still fixing it up. So we're expecting them to come back on. They should be coming on back anytime now. And then we've obviously since then we had Ramp Now, right? So Banks' team in Australia, and then we had Ramp Now coming up, and Ramp Now is been doing very well. I posted a link out about that yesterday, so let's check that out. So this is the one I posted out here. So the new official Ramp Now capital coming onto PulseChain. The run rate is $34 million per annum. You guys got to be pretty excited about this. People saying, "Oh, where's the new capital coming from?" Right? Where there's new money coming from? Good question, right? Good question. So they're coming from existing crypto people on other chains, or it's coming from the retail FOMO, or when we get into more of a bull market, like top of the sort of altcoin season period. And so people waiting for that. You have to wait for that, right? Or you can have on ramps coming onto PulseChain, pretty much. More and more of them coming on. And so what these do use, they don't actually have their own direct bridge to PulseChain. They are using the official bridge to transfer money to PulseChain. So think of it this way: you've got euros in Europe. They then come over and onto PulseChain, and official ramp will fund the liquidity. So they're already front running the liquidity, if you mean. So if you think about, if you're going to make a buy, they're going to take your euros, but they're going to be already doing their backroom accounting for USDC. So they're using USDC on Ethereum. They did take USDC and they're front running the liquidity, right? So they've already got the liquidity ahead of the curve, so to speak. And so they're passing that liquidity on through the official PulseChain bridge over to PulseChain, right? So this is what you can see so far is the liquidity that they've been bringing over. And you can see it's pretty similar numbers, right? So they're front running liquidity, trying to balance the buyers that they have, right? And they're worrying about the US to euro conversion, that they do that themselves, right? They do all that calculation themselves, and then they front run the USDC liquidity on PulseChain. So they're all ready to go, right? They're all ready to go. So they push that over the bridge ahead of time, and it's just sitting in their account. They might have $35,000 on average in their account, ready to basically buy Pulse and buy Soar token in particular. But they're also obviously through Hex Scout also buying Hex and PulseX now, INC I think as well, and one other, just forget right now. So they're buying multiple coins now through Ramp Now. But this is pretty incredible. So not only they're buying core coins, they're also buying Soul token, and you can see that the money that they're bridging over all the time is pretty significant, and this is going to be becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. At the moment, of course, the maximum amount that you can go over Ramp Now is 3,000 euros, right? 3,000 euros. And you can think about, if you're going to be funding the US dollars for that on PulseChain, you can send over the bridge, then you can just automatically do the sale, right? So because you've got the US dollars sitting there as a liquidity fund. But of course, if you're going to scale things up, right, then you've got to scale up that USDC. So we could very well see the USDC in frequency and in amount jump quite a lot, right? So that's going to be a very big deal there. So that's going to be a big deal. We've got new official on-ramp capital coming onto PulseChain. The run rate is $34 million at the moment, based on these flows that we've seen so far in US dollars, right? So it's front running. Expected to climb as limits jump from 3,000 euro to 10,000 euro, and then to 50,000 euro, right? So this is a very big deal. And so the 3,000 to 10,000 is going to open up bigger customers. Now think about 3,000 euros probably gets gets you to, I don't know, maybe 90-95% of customers. Maybe 10,000 euro gets you up to like 99% of customers. And then you got the 1%, the big players that need bigger amounts, like 50,000 euros, for example. So the good news is that the 10K ramp up looks like that's already ready to go. So that's just about there. And so that's looking pretty good, which means that suggests that they would probably need to ramp up the US dollar funding, right? Send it over the bridge. So we're going to have more US dollars in terms of USDC coming over to PulseChain, and that's going to be huge. So capital is flying onto PulseChain. Current run rate's 34 million, but this could easily triple, right? Easily triple, could become 100 million more. It really is going to be pretty crazy to see how big this gets. And of course, that's a run rate based on something like 26 days. So 26 days of data. So we'll be tracking that, right? So expected to climb limits up to 3,000 euros to 10,000. 10,000 looks like it's pretty close to happening. This is a big deal. This could have a big flow-on effect to Soil, Sun, Minimal. Also a big flow-on effect to the Richard Hart core coins, which are through HexScout that they can buy. So pretty big deal there. And of course, once you get to 50K, then you're going to start getting some pretty big investors, people that have got potentially hundreds, if not millions, if not tens of millions of dollars, that will slowly sort of DCA into the chain. They can do 50,000 lots, right? And there's also, this is something that's really really cool. They not only are they bank ramp now moving to 10K, but the other big alpha drop there is that they have a VIP program. This is going to open up the truly, very wealthy people to start onboarding onto Soil, Sun, Minimal in particular. So this is really big. This is opening up some pretty big investors. These are different investors, say, that Rackham Michelle would be dealing with. Rackham Michelle's out there doing a lot of promotions and networking with his high worth, associates and people he deals with. This is in Europe, so this is a completely different market. So this is very, very, very exciting, opening up Europe. And so we could see some pretty cool stuff. And the European community is getting really excited about this. A lot of Sun Minimal customers in particular, people following that, is getting bigger and bigger by the day. So it's very, very exciting. And so not only are we going to see bigger limits happen on ramp now, and this is imminently, I think that 10K is pretty close. We could also see the massive jump in customers. Now, that just jump in customers is dependent at the moment. So obviously they're doing this is the new news as well. They're currently finally doing the final updates, tweaking to the new website. That's going to be website 2.0. It's going to have a new dashboard for the customers. And also it's going to have a Sun wallet and, of course, a bridge as well. So bridging back and forth between PulseChain in the sense. It'll be a simplified front end for it, back to Sun Minimal points, because they're going to have a new product coming out for Rewards 2.0. And of course, you're going to be able to, for new customers in particular, be able to buy Sun Minimal at a discount, 20% discount, if you use Soil tokens. So you'll have to buy Soil tokens if you don't have them, right? This will be, most of the new customers of Sun Minimal, they'll have to buy Soil tokens, and that's going to potentially add a ginormous demand in addition to those that will speculate, right, on Soil token as well as customers. So pretty huge. Remember, last year they had something like 70,000 customers. Arguably, that must have grown quite significantly since that time. I won't speculate too much about that, but that's definitely in place. Now, I know the projection for 2025, and if you want to join Strategy Club, you'll be able to get the insights into that. But that's something for Strategy Club if you want to find out the numbers that we're expecting, and it's pretty exciting. But I'll give you last year's numbers as a baseline, and that would suggest that they've got a kitty of money for the buy and burn already. And this, I haven't even got to the biggest alpha drop yet, so it's coming. But these are all brand new news. It's all hot off the press, and so pretty big deal there. And so we will see all that play out. So it's going to be pretty crazy for Sun Minimal. Israel striking Iran, I think that's inevitable there, and that the markets are pulling back on that. Oil should rally as well. We'll get to all that. Then we'll get to that stuff. It's a pretty big deal. And that is coming in. What was up to the dashboard. The customer program, so we could see a lot of potentiality coming from the customers. Now, I've got numbers that I'm going to be breaking down for Strategy Club, so you guys will see it in Strategy Club. This is stuff that I'll be putting in there as well. But the other thing that's coming is that's going to spur a whole ton of customer demand, right? I mean, I think it's going to surprise people. The other thing, of course, is that has been delayed, so that will be triggered. It's currently going through the final sort of bells and whistles. So that was supposed to launch on the the 2nd, 3rd of June. So it's been deferred just with refinements, which is pretty normal when you're dealing with websites and things like that. So yeah, that is happening, and then that's going to be potentially a big boom. And of course, the other thing is Sun AG, right? So Sun AG is this is breaking news. So you're dropping this right now, and that is that Sun AG is now gone from manual buy and burnings, which we've been covering, right? And like I said, they burned over 10 million coins to actually automation. So the Sun AG buy and burn has gone automated over the last 24 hours. In fact, it was probably about 13 hours, I think ago, or something like that. So it is now automated on buy and burn. And this is before getting into the Sunbank, foundation which is setting up, right? Because the idea from that was that they would be transferring the 1.6 billion coins that Sun Minimal has over to the Soul Bank, which is kind of the the non-profit, and then setting up the automations automatically through the Soul Bank to keep that arm's length, which I think is a very important thing for that as well. Now, what I would say is that what this means by automation is that this is going straight from Sun Minimal's bank account. yeah. And instead of doing it manually themselves, it's now routing through official Ramp Now. So it's going through Ramp Now as well, just like all the rest of the customers that have been coming through. And it's now going on to buying the tokens, and it gets the tokens and then it buys and burns them. So we've been tracking the manual side of it, as you guys know. And so now that's all changed. That whole arrangement's changed over the last sort of 12, 14 hours or so. And that is now automated. So that is kind of cool news, that automation there. So we're expecting, once we were going to get the 100,000 customers, that was going to be fully automated. Now, I don't know whether they're going to change that automation setup at some stage, because obviously that's automated. But we were expecting, once 100,000 holders were existence, that would happen, or earlier, of course. But it seems like that has happened pretty quickly. So we'll try and keep more developments on that particular setup around the automation. But that does seem to be automated from the bank account through to the buy and burn via Ramp Now as well. So Ramp Now getting a lot of love, going to be earning a lot of nice little fees from all its growth, and good on them. I mean, job well deserved there. It's bringing on tons of capital. Like I say, the run rate at the moment minimum is 34 million. That doesn't include Sun AG, by the way. That's just largely retail customers, right? So Sun AG was doing it separately. So data from now on should include Sun AG as well. And of course, this last figure that I got here, 15K, that didn't really include Sun AG as well, because I was pretty sure that I did that before that happened. So that is pretty exciting. So pretty bullish. Like I say, the Magnificent 7 on PulseChain, SolidX, and Sun Minimal. It is going to be huge there. You can watch it climb. Now, if you want to get all the extra information, all the intel, all the details, all the breakdown, like I was saying, with all the numbers, then you have to join Strategy Club. And we're going to be talking about that in depth this weekend at the Strategy Club session as well. So join up today for that. Links in the video description. Get the alpha, the Magnificent 7, man. The only person that's doing it is the Kryptonite Show. So get in there and, be a winner, chicken dinner. All right, so that is the play there. Now let's bounce out of that at the moment. So pretty bullish. Lots of cool things happening as well. And so let's move on in terms of the stock market news. Obviously, we've got some people in the chat there. I'll just go through a couple of comments first. We've got TitanX in the house there on PulseChain. Did you know TitanX coins have migrated to PulseChain? This is the start of ETH value moving to a better platform through the bridge. Blaze, Team, Inferno, Vault doing it now. Eden, Lotus, awesome. That's fantastic. I was aware of some of those things, so that is fantastic. TitanX, appreciate that. Most bridge action on moving ETH or USD to buy PulseChain assets. We are bridging coins to LP pair with core coins like Pulse Inc. and also PDI, Beer, Atropa, Nope, and etc. Nope, TitanX, DragonX, awesome stuff. Yeah, well, we'll try and build on that. I'll have a little look at that too later on today. Maybe we can talk about that tomorrow. Thanks for that. And Israel striking Iran. Yeah, so we're definitely seeing the markets move. So we're going to talk about that too. So this was the results of the stock market overnight. So we'll talk about that first. We got the S&P 500 cut losses to close higher amid Oracle-led surge. So pretty cool news there. And we can see the Dow Jones at the moment went up 0.25% last night, 102 points to 42,967. The S&P 500 went up 0.4%, 23 points, 6,000. And NASDAQ there went up 0.25%, 46 points to 19,662. So pretty good mark there. US dollar continues to depreciate. I mean, we're at 97.88. Remember, when Trump first came in, the US dollar was up at like 108. So now it's down at 97.9. So really depreciated there. And part of what Trump likes is depreciation, but he also wants a strong dollar. So he's kind of stuck in two camps. But that is pretty interesting. Now, commodities is going to be where a lot of the action is. Obviously, we can see crude oil and Brent oil, they're climbing. And as Excavator points out, you know, the issue of Israel striking Iran, I don't know if they've actually done it yet, but if they have, they're definitely setting up for that. We know that US was evacuating people associated with some of the embassies or something like that. So that was definitely in play. We got Brent oil $73, and West Texas at $72, up 5% and 4% respectively. You can see in the chart there that's really just climbed pretty dramatically on the chart. So it's really a big bounce back. Now gold at the moment is up almost 1% as well, $30 to 3,433. Now gold did have a little pause, in here. Look, a little pause, but is on the move again. And silver there is at $36 as well. So silver will win twice, right? Silver will win on fear, but and to some degree, but also will work on a depreciating US dollar, right? So silver at $36. We're expecting some pretty big prices, and I have talked about that for some time. Silver could get the $75 to $125. It just need that right breakouts conditions, and definitely, I think it can win under all situations, just about. Particularly gold, but silver there could have quite the run. So if you got a lot of silver, it's going to be pretty cool. That's where we're at the moment. So let's read just a little bit of stuff there. Obviously, Oracle did pretty well. Powers Tech after hitting record high. And of course, Boeing slumped after that India air crash, which was very tragic. Unfortunately, I did see the video, so I couldn't believe it. Apparently, one person may have survived as well, which is pretty crazy. It was almost had landed as well, which was kind of weird. And then it just all completely blew up. So maybe it hit the fuel tank or whatever. I don't know. It hit the the engine thing, and it just went up. So pretty tragic there. What else? What was truly impressive guidance was even greater acceleration and massive bookings ahead. Company expects its year-end $138 billion, representing a customer base and business that accumulatively built over several decades. So that was pretty cool for Oracle there. All right, so that is pretty good news at the moment. But of course, as you know, Hexavator is pointing out, we have got this issue around Iran. Now, I've been in the camp that they should have dealt with Iran many ways. There's many ways of dealing with Iran. We don't need a terrorist state with a nuclear bomb, right? That's a worse outcome. Believe me, that's a worse outcome. One of those nuclear bombs could show up in a US city or somewhere else without even knowing these days, right? They sneak them in through the ports and all sorts of stuff. And everyone pretends who did it, kind of thing. And we don't need that. So I think, as much as we want the markets to pump, but that issue does need to be dealt with somehow. There are many ways of dealing with that without obviously conventional war, but it does feel like they're getting pretty close to inevitability there. So we shall see whether it all hits. Anyway, so that is kind of where we're at the moment. Looking at the futures, we are down on the futures, down 1.3% on the EUS 30 and 1.4% on the US 500. So yeah, we have got that. I'm just trying to see whether we got any news stories on that. So nothing up at the moment on the on that. So we might check out maybe Fox or something a bit later. Let's check that out. In fact, let's have a look at Fox now. And we're going to Fox News and pick that up, see if there's anything on there at the moment. Let's go to World, maybe. I don't know, let's have a look. So World News. Rising tensions. Trump warns Israel strike on Iran could happen amid Middle East evacuation. So they're going to obviously target their nuclear sites in particular. Obviously 80 to 90% of Iranians hate the regime that they're under. So they're obviously, that's really just a military target. So they'll be trying to target their nuclear sites. So we'll see. But that's definitely going to have an impact on the markets, right? There's no doubt about that. There's no humming and hawing away from that. All right, Crypto Bros in the house. A big shout out to Crypto Pro. Raid on. Check out Raid on, guys. Crypto Bros in the house with Greed Token. Making some big moves coming up too. So look out for that. and repost the stream. Appreciate that, Crypto Bro. Thanks very much. Looking good. And yeah, I got my disheveled hair tonight. So I just noticed I need a haircut again. Get another haircut with my little Superman cowlick. Superman cowlick there. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the smash and like button. And of course, don't forget to join Strategy Club. It's all on. Now, we got two things coming up. So obviously, we've got the monster thread out there at the moment. MVS, our editor, is doing a great job on that. And then we've got a new publication coming up soon. So if you're a team out there, hit me up on that and get yourself into the new publication coming up. That is going to be pretty alpha dropping too. Pretty damn good. And spicy, so you want to get into that. No, so, get into that, and of course, hit me up and send the DMs. And of course, if we've got another thing launching soon too. That'll probably be sooner, actually. Probably this weekend, possibly. We could have this other thing that we're rolling out. As you guys know, we are ramping it up here on the Crypto Night Show. So a big shout out to everybody that supports us, and MVS Crypto doing a great job out there. It's going to be a lot of fun to see where we head forwards in this year, leading into the bull market. It's time to get excited. Yeah, and so let's get into the markets. Let's go full screen. Should we go full screen? I hid myself accidentally. I was supposed to unhide myself, but there we go. And he appears just like a wild SJ. He appears. So the crypto market down pretty hard here on the spheres of attacking Iran. What is a public good is not generally fun for markets. Obviously, Iran being an oil producer, and that, even though I think most of it's sanctioned, isn't it? We got $3.44 trillion, down 4.6%. We've got Bitcoin at the moment at 105,000, or it's 106,000, let's say, and it's down 4.6%. Still holding over 100K, so it's important, but we know that crypto can move pretty volatile, especially if you see a bombing going on as well in Iran. So that's just the way it goes. So we got Bitcoin at the moment, 106,000. I get Ethereum at number 2, down 8.3%, $2,647. XRP at number 4, down 6.2%, $2.19. BNB is down 3% there at $655. Solana, number 6, is down 9.5% on Solana chain at $1.52. We got Dogecoin there down 10%, is at 18 cents. Tron is number 9, down 3.4% at 27 cents. Those and now look, we got Lido staked ETH. Oh my god, we got another tragedy. Cardano has moved down to number 11. Say what? Yeah, it has. So Lido staked ETH for Ethereum has moved up. It's down 8.9%, but it moved past Cardano. Poor Hodgkinson. Hodgkinson must be weeping right now. Moving out of the top 10. It is down 9.1% at 66 cents at number 11 there. Is Cardano there, and Lido has taken its place there as well. So that is some drama. We've seen some drama around the spot, right? Seen Cardano, Lido, Tron, and Dogecoin all moving around each other. And Tron, of course, ended up flipping Cardano and Doge the other day. But look at the order now. So we had some, contesting for number 10 to 11, number 8 to 11 spot there as well. All right, so looking at the best performer in the last week, for those, we've still got Solana up 5.4%, and actually the best one is Dogecoin. It is up 5.6% for the week. There's the best performer. Oh no, we got Ethereum's best performer up 9%. My bad. All right, so there we are, Ethereum there. Let's look at the top 100 and see what the best performer is. We've got Kaya token in the top 100. It's ranked number 98, so it's moved into the top 100, and that is up 63%. So I'm not sure what the news is there. But that is up pretty dramatically. SPX 6900 is up 48% this week. That's been an absolute incredible performer, taking a bit of a breather now, down 9%, but SPX 6900 doing very well indeed. Uniswap at number 3 is up 28%. Aave is up 19.7%, and Internet Computer is also up 18.5%. And I want to mention Hyperliquid, right? So Jack Levin, you guys know Jack Levin, the X1 founder, the Zen founder, is announced today, I think, that he was doing a test on Hyperliquid. So I'm not I didn't actually check out what that was, but that would be something of interest if you guys are involved with Zen and waiting for X1 to launch. He was doing some sort of experiment on the markets there with Hyperliquid, so it'd be interesting to see what that is. I just didn't take a look. I just saw it there. So that is where we are at the moment on those. So yeah, not too bad. Let's have a look at Kaya. Moving into the top 100. And Kaya was merged from Finshisha and Clayton there. So a bit of a merger between projects on the looks of it. and it has had a nice little move there. What's of 10 cents, moved up to 16 cents there. Kai is an Ethereum equivalent layer 1 public blockchain that brings Web3 to the fingertips of hundreds of millions across Asia by their preferred messenger super apps. Okay, so that could be pretty interesting. I'm not sure what news they had today, but let's quickly see whether we can find the news there. Let me see what the news was. May the 7th, USD Tether was live on Kai, so that was definitely on the 7th of May. What else do they have? 17 hours ago, they had Kaya Portal Epic 2 Spotlight, so they had that, something on that as well. They had a few updates there, a little bit of a thread. 11th there, they had Line Mini DApp on Kaya base stable, so had a bit of a growth in the ecosystem for a little bit. And then Tether is now live on Kaya Chain on the 10th, so that's probably what's been driving it, is the old Tether move there. We see that that's been pretty useful, stable coins on Tron and places like that. So that is kind of where we are on that one for Kaya. So it looks like they're really stable coin, bit of ecosystem development there driving that result. All right, so top gainers at the moment, Aura up 72%, Encrypt is up 29%, and Venom 29% as well for top gainers. Trending is Lambo, Aura, and Aerodrome Finance. Those are the marks at the moment. Aura making quite a bit of move as well, up 72%, so go check that out. Aura's ranked 379. Look at that chart, what the hell? We're at 0009, and then suddenly it got pumped all the way to 13.9 cents, so that's pretty crazy. Up 16,000% in the last 7 days. Now, I'm not too sure what this one is actually. Aura tokens can be traded on decent. I don't know really what that's all about. But they got a website as well. Let's quickly look at it while we're snooping. Aura there. Let's scroll down. I might as well scroll down there. What else have we got there? I don't know what all this is, but anyway, that is Aura. We're getting stuck on the website. We're getting pulled in. But that is number 379. You might want to have to do a bit more due diligence than what I just did. We're just quickly checking it out, but there we go. That is Aura at 379. Wonder what it's going to be doing there. That price gone insane. I wouldn't be buying the top of that price, that's for sure. You never buy one a candle that looks like that. All right, that is pretty much that. Let's jump into the Bitcoin quickly, just to give a final overview before we get into PulseChain. We got any more comments in the chat there? We got Diamond Hands in house. Explosions in Tehran, US is not involved. Yeah, I think it's Israel doing it. So it's a very clever kind of positioning from the US Israelis. The US has obviously got all its assets off the coast, aircraft carriers, the big long range bombers, all those sort of things are sitting off at different places, but they definitely cleared out a lot of their places. It's definitely going to deal with the nuclear stuff. Hey, look, it has to be done. I mean, I hate the impact on the markets, but they get, if those terrorists in Tehran get a nuclear bomb, you can bet your bottom dollar one of those nukes is going to show up in the U.S. city. It would not be good. It would not be good. All right. So there we go. That is the Bitcoin at the moment. We're looking at the charts, and we're obviously down 3 days now. We were up like 4 days in a row. Had a little breather day on the 10th, and now we're down the last 3 days. But we are in a trading range, so it's holding up there. We bounced off 100,523. That's very positive. Obviously, the special event can break our chart lines. Just remember that. I don't want to pretend that we're near invincible when we've got something like this going on. But potentially the market might consider, it controlled. If it's a controlled episode, it might consider it controlled without breaking down below 100,000. Obviously, we're wanting Bitcoin to consolidate over 100,000 so that we can move up into the next range, right? The 130 to 150 range. And we're also getting closer to Trump's golden age of America. Now, apparently, the big tax bill. So we've got Trump's strategy, right? The three-legged stool strategy. The top one is the trade deal announcements. Now, we haven't seen the trade deals come out as fast as we might have hoped, even though they let us know that at least 3 deals, big deals outside of the UK deal, which has already been done, and of course the in-principle deal, which has moved forward to, I think, been written down in clarity because they had some back and forth around magnets and other things like that. They're playing games with magnets and things. Now that's all been sorted out, so I think looks like that deal's been done. And of course, we're waiting for some other big deals like India, South Korea, Japan, and places. So that is waiting for all that to come out. So here we are at the moment. We're down 3 days, and so hopefully we'll get some trade deals, out over the next week or so. Still got a few weeks ahead of us, right? And then also the big tax bill, right? The big tax bill is apparently progressing pretty well. So that is looking very good. I saw the Speaker of Congress giving that out as proceeding pretty well. So that is looking pretty good. So everything is going pretty well. The deregulation leverage is proceeding. We saw Treasury Secretary Besant, at the Congress hearing, I think it was, fighting against the Democrats. The Democrats are just hideous. I'm talking about not the individual people, but the Democrat Party leadership are they're just hideous people. Just the worst people. So here the Democrats love spending money, right? And here they are, they're sitting in hearings talking about budgets, which is hilarious. They go, where'd you get the money from? Where'd you get the money from? They don't care about the budget. They like spending the budget. They love spending the money. And of course, hopefully many of them are going to go to prison after the USAID and all that stuff falls out. But that's what happens, right? This is how insidious they are, full of narcissists, nightmare people. Fortunately, they're running most of the West at the moment, so we've got to hopefully get rid of them. But that's kind of where we are at the moment on the daily. Let's see how far we got. We got 21 days to go to the 4th of July. Woohoo! 3 weeks, guys, and hopefully we'll get some trade deals. Hopefully next week announced. We just need these top 15, right? Because obviously, if there's 115 plus countries, the smaller ones don't really matter too much. They matter from a global trade point of view, but not from a market point of view. So really, we want those top sort of 15 countries deals to come out, roll out one by one. So those should be all hitting. So that's what we were kind of waiting for, and the big tax bill to go through. The markets will love that, eat that up. Now, the only offset, of course, at the moment we've got is a pretty big one, and that is the attack on Iran. So we'll have to see how that plays out too. So 21 days, that's where we are, folks. And so if we can manage to stay over 100K, I think we're setting for a really big move into the banana phase of the market. And at the moment, we've got the golden age of America starting from the 4th of July. That's essentially it. And of course, as you guys know, I've mentioned this many times that Trump has managed to raise, a huge amount of money. Within the first four months was over $13 trillion raised for investment. Now, there is the irony of that. We got Valent's got a comment in about Aura. I hear grade school kids today talking about Aura a lot. Seems to be linked to esteem or social ratings. Is it Valiant? Okay. Q Baller now says morning all. Good to see Q Baller. You keep changing your name, Greg. Greg Pitts keeps changing your name. I don't know what's going on there, but it's pretty funny. I hope they find and punish the big players funding all the riots going on now. Yeah. I mean, most of the riots, like there are obviously some independent groups that are rioting, in terms of people that, illegals in particular and other supporters. But the Democrats are funding all of these riots things, right? They're just funding it. You got to remember the Democrats will burn down cities. They'll go to extreme extents for power and control. These people are capable of doing anything. They don't care about the American people. American people are just a means to an end, and they could do some pretty horrific things. And you guys can imagine some of the things I'm thinking that they could do. Obviously, we already experienced that during the old lockdown periods and all that. We know if you didn't realize what they were capable of, that's just a taster of what they are capable of doing against not only the American people, but the people around the world. These people don't care. They don't care. They just care about power and control. And that's the problem, right? So it was good to have Trump in the house. Trump there doing the common sense thing, right? Getting troops on the ground and supporting the law and order there. And then that is done, and apparently it's working pretty well. But we're expecting more from these crazy nut jobs. And the Democrats, terrible people, not the people, individuals, but the leaders. They're all corrupt, evil people. Hope they find punishment. And me too. We got Al Pacino in house. Hey, Superman, great to see you. Enjoy the strawberry moon. Okay, I think there is a big moon, but have a look at. We've got a winter here, so is that in the north hemisphere? I don't know. We got the strawberry moon here, but maybe we do. I don't know. I'll check. It's been pretty cloudy and rainy lately. All right, so that is the markets there on the old golden age of America. So we've got 3 weeks to go. Are we going to get some of these big trade deals? We'll keep a lookout for that. And, of course, the big tax bill. Those are huge catalysts for the upside. A downside catalyst, unfortunately, is the Iranian thing, although it does need to be dealt with in some way or another. We do not need the Ayatollahs in Iran having nuclear weapons. We do not need that. That would be very bad. All right. That is where we are there on the market. So we're going to get the PulseChain. PulseChain obviously pulling back pretty aggressively on that as well. with the uncertainty, I guess. And we've got thin liquidity, right? So because we've got thin liquidity on PulseChain, it is great for the way up. But unfortunately, when we're still down in this sort of volatile zone with geopolitical risks around, we can move down pretty hard, and that's what we've seen today. So, got fresh powder. Look for a little pickup and get some cheap Pulse and PulseX. We got quadruple 0308 on Pulse, down 14%, sitting at 31% of the main sacrifice price. PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0267, down 17%. That is at 26.7% of the main sacrifice price. We've got the buy and burn at 7.2% at the moment. Incentive token down 18% on the incentive token, $1.42. And we've got the Hex at the moment is just below 61/100th of a penny, down 14.7%. And EHEX at the moment, 19/100th of a penny. Now, I just want to talk quickly about Hex. Seriously, particularly EHEX in particular, it's got to be a pretty good, crazy pickup, right? I mean, seriously, it's been pretty solid around that period, picking up EHEX. We know that Dipcatch is, working on that second layer kind of protocol ecosystem for, I got to get the name right. It's FlexNet, not HexFlex. HexFlex. I do HexFlex just runs off the tongue though. So they FlexNet. It's a little hard, a little bit tongue tied on that, I find. But anyway, so that is where we are at the on the Hex there. So Hex just seems like an easy one to pick up, right? Mad gains. Now BankX, of course, I think they're pretty low. I mean, I say they're low. They've still got a lot. Last time I remember they had 180 million. I'm not sure where they're still at there. And they started off with 700 million, remember? Because for some reason, the Hex God Whale decided to sacrifice something like 800 million. Was it 800 million? I'm forgetting it now. But the tokens there, which is just an unfortunate day in the office there. We got Heartwood Dog in the house. Hey, Heartwood Dog, big shout out there. If you guys haven't checked out Pulse of the Fallen anime series, it really is. It feels like it's becoming more and more a part of the PulseChain community and I guess culture, really. So big shout out there to Hog. You guys are doing a great job there. Looking forward to the next chapter. Chapter 11, is it? Chapter 11? I don't know if you have a little sneak peek of the title for that. I guess not, but drop some alpha to the chat. Got the Excavator says Neville Roy is funding radical groups linked to LA riots. Right? Yeah, I'm not surprised. I don't really know who Neville Roy is, but it sounds like a Democrat. So probably not surprised the Excavator. All right, so that is the play. All right, so that is where we are at the market. Let's have a look at the gas prices. We're obviously going to be under extreme pressure here from this Iranian thing. So there's no doubt about that. It's just what we call a black swan event in a sense, or maybe a gray swan event, because it's kind of anticipated to some degree. And so that's just the way it goes. So special events the play. We've got 5 million beats at the moment on PulseChain, 6 cents for a PulseX swap, so a little bit more expensive than what we had the last couple of days. It's been around 2 or 3 cents, and here we are at 6 cents at the moment at the live stream. Validators at the moment is 50,150. So I think we're down 350 then, around 350 down on the validators today. And the activity on the bridge, let's have a look. What the heck? The bridge. I said the activity on the bridge, and I clicked activity. That's hilarious. We got $89.5 million, and we were sitting pretty much around 92.5, right? That's pretty where we've been. So we're probably down we're probably not. It's not quite 3 million. Maybe it's like 2.5 to 3 million, somewhere there. Maybe 2.25 million. So it's down pretty significant. The DAI is pretty similar. The ETH is pretty similar. So really, it's the value, right? The value's gone down in terms of the price. And Bitcoin has gone back up. Bitcoin's gone back up. Whoa! Bitcoin's gone back up, guys. That is cool. What the heck? Who's moving the Bitcoin? Let's see. Yeah, let's jump over to the Bitcoin there. Yeah, 27 Bitcoin. We're back up to where we were. What the fudge? We got down to 25 Bitcoin, guys, and now we're back at 27. Let's just come back. What the fudge? All right, someone do some chain analysis. Someone do some chain analysis out there. All right, so we got Valiant says, I'm sure Soros is involved too. Oh, yeah, he will be. His time can't be too long, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, mate, Chapter 11 is coming. There we are. Chapter 11 is coming for Pulse of the Fallen. We're looking forward to it. What twists and turns will happen on Pulse of the Fallen? Find out more soon. All right, so check out that. So kind of cool. That is where we are at the moment. Let's jump into the overall markets, shall we? And let's see, $20.9 million volume. Yay! I mean, at least the volume's up. It might be a down day, unfortunately. It's up on a down vote. But 20.9 million. We were sitting around 12 million, remember, for quite a few days. And here we are. We did have an up day on high volume, and here we got a down day on high volume, 20. Well, not high volume, high compared to 12 million. $20.9 million. Transactions 331,000. I think we were doing was it 400 or 500,000 yesterday? Something like that. That's pretty big. Let's have a look at the top formers. We don't have many. This is the default view for Deck Screener that we used each day. Obviously, there's a lot of coins missing off here that do pretty well also. But here we got Aura. It's been around for 22 hours. That's up 1,900%, down 32% last 6 hours. Crash and burn. And of course, we talked about Aura there on the other project, right, on the general crypto market. So someone may be trying to jump on the back of this. Now, we always get these every single day, right? New tokens. So just take them into account. It's not endorsing any particular one. What is it? Quick Intel says sell and buy tax. What else? That's pretty much it. So at the moment, chat's still looking okay, but take care of it there. There is a website. There's a website too. Let's jump. Should we have a little website? Let's have a look. Let's see how good it is. Let's see if it looks anything any good. There we go. So it's pretty simple. 2.5% to the Aura Treasury, 2.5% paid to holders and PulseX. Well, that's a smart move, isn't it? PulseX got to be a smart move there. Only 1 million tokens. There we go. It's not a too bad idea. Simple and to the point. That's important to the point there. Obviously, that is the play there. We got Fresh Start Shower. It's been around for 5 months, over a year. It's got been around for a long time, over a year. That is up 81 and 71%. So that is still doing pretty well. And that is Fresh Start there from the website. I don't know why it keeps defaulting to the high transaction view, but there's the chart at the moment. So pretty volatile. You got to hold onto your hat with that one. What's the issue there? Suspicious functions. I'm not sure what that is. You always got to double check what Deck Screener says about a token contract. You need to check it on other platforms like Midgard or Pulse Police or something like that. But that is the play there. And look, you can't argue too much with the chart, but it's definitely it moves around a bit. So from day to day. All right, what else there? Your Mum PDC, that's up 18% as well. And then we got PDC Most Token is up 1%. That's pretty much it on the leaderboard. Everything else is pretty much down. Pretty down day on virtually everything is in the negative. So yeah, let's pick out which ones we were going to pick up. SolidX. Let's pick it, since we talked about them at the beginning. Let's pull out SolidX here. I'm sure it's around somewhere. I'm looking for yellow there. There's SolidX Inc. Let me go to SolidX PulseX, SolidX Pulse. So let's go to SolidX Pulse here. And see how this is tracking. So this is the one that I think is worthy of definitely doing your due diligence and potentially one of the Magnificent 7 on PulseChain, without a doubt. I think there's any too much doubt about that. But obviously Magnificent 7 includes Richard Art's core coins, right? So we got $9.30. $9.30. I'll do a whole video on the Magnificent 7. Why don't we do that? Let's do that. No one steal my idea. I could see it now. I'll get onto X afterwards and there'll be like all this stuff. Magnificent 7. What the fudge, guys? You promised. So we're down at $9.32. And here we are at the moment. So we were up, $11.52 the other day. But like I say, this is just normal part of volatility when, at this range to some degree, because we're expecting great things from SolidX. So that is the play at the moment. Let's go to weekly on this one. That is the weekly chart. But look, I think this is kind of the bottom range for me because they're about to launch all the good stuff, right? So it's going to be game on for the old SolidX there. All right. Do they have a website? I haven't checked the website. Let's go check the website here. Oh, it can't be reached at the moment. So I don't know. It's going to come. All right. So the other one that we looked at, of course, was the other big alpha drop we looked at was Sun Mini Mill. Actually, let's quickly look at X Games. X Games down 23, at the moment down 18%. That was rallying really hard yesterday. Remember that? Remember X Games was rallying really hard? So this is the other one. It was up to almost 2,800, and it's back down to 23 at the moment. Obviously, we've got this, this Iran thing impacting the markets. Now, the other one we're going to talk about is Sun Mini Mill. I saw back up here somewhere. There it is, number 22 today, sitting at 10% here. Now, the only reason why Sun Mini Mill is down is because there was a big seller. That's it. So it's still holding up at 10 cents, which is still pretty good. Now, obviously, it's rolled over a little bit on the chart. We call it a rollover. And you can kind of see that it ran out of steam here. Now, the one thing this has got, of course, it's got buying power, right? So this is a very important thing. This is why it's kind of important, is that if actions follow up words, then this is an absolute juggernaut. I mean, we're talking solid X potentially times 100 or 1,000 or something. This is potentially huge. So if solid X is big, right, and that makes the Magnificent Seven, then this could be absolutely ginormous, right? Ginormous. So take that into note. Now, obviously, there's a lot of holders with a lot of tokens. That's the Achilles heel. Is that there's a lot of tokens, and it's a relatively new, so people are getting relatively wealthy straight away out of the gate. So just take that into account. But the buying side of it, there's so many elements of the buying side that it's going to be a bit of a battle, and we could see quite a nice little chart print out and a re-rate of the value. At the moment, just over $500 million. And here we are. So let's just go through a couple of these hours here just to show you the idea. So the only reason why this chart really pulled down today is because this trader here also had some free coins from the looks of it. They sold $37,000 worth earlier. And remember, the liquidity is 1 million, so that has a bit of an impact. And it pushed the price from 11.1 cents down to 9.6 cents. The thing about this is that this person is, from what I can tell, unless they've got other accounts, is out. So as you can see, they bought 187,000, they sold 485. So obviously got some tokens from somewhere else and possibly free ones. Now, but they do appear to be out this account. So I always check these big accounts just to see what's happening there. And then we saw this account here, right? So this is the account. This is a ramp now. This is the one that we talked about earlier. And this is all the buys coming in. So you can see the buys coming in there as well through the account. Now, that is the one thing I was going to point out. But I want to point out, before this big seller, we had these big buys coming. Let me come in here. I haven't checked this yet, but I'm suspecting that these big buys here 15 hours ago, and this one here, this 8,000, possibly are related. But in any case, this here is probably, my guess, is coming through ramp now. It's possibly that automated buy from from Sun AG, the first automated buy. So that instead of doing it directly themselves, which we've been following, they're routing through ramp now. And so that's what I suspect is the case. Now, I haven't checked that yet, but that's something I'll probably do at the live stream. But that does look like very much kind of the idea there. So we will see. We'll see what happens there. All right, I'll double check that. So that's just my speculation at this stage. But anyway, we're currently, we just had another sell down there just while we're on the live stream. How about that? What sold that down? We're at, oh no, we're still at 9.7. So there we go. Yeah, we were at 10 cents. And we just popped to 9.7 just on this little tiny itty bitty buy. There we go. Pulse is obviously falling as well. So there we go. So that is pretty much that on that one. So those are the two ones we covered at the beginning. And if we have a look at liquidity, so let's go do liquidity here. We can see that actually liquidity side of things, we've got Troper at the top there, PulseX, SolidX, these are kind of what we call the Magnificent Seven, right? We got incentive token there, and so on, now Sol token's all the way down here at number 18, but you watch, that's going to end up getting in there in the top there. And of course we can play around with the market cap values, as you guys know. I would discount Remember, right? I wouldn't be keeping Remember in there, so I just ignore it, Remember. Obviously, it's providing some value, but I'd ignore that, and because it's just a risk framework is just so much more riskier, right? But then I'd take PulseX, Hex, and you've obviously got I'd ignore a Beast as well. So I'd just while the printer tokens provide certain value, I'd just ignore those, and I'd go straight down to Soil there on the market cap, and these are the kind of the heavyweight SolidX as well. And then I'd probably, if I was going to top up my top Magnificent Seven, I'd have to include probably PDC, the greys, right? That would be the one I'd have in there. That get us to PulseX, Hex, Incentive, SolidX, Soil, and probably PDC, the Magnificent Seven. We could start using that, and everyone can sort of have Magnificent Seven on PulseChain. So that's kind of the play there. I'm looking not too bad. All right, so I think what we're doing now, we're an hour and 4 minutes, so we're doing pretty good today on the show. I've still got a really disheveled haircut, hairstyle. I need to go for a little Superman haircut. That's a good question. Can they actually cut Superman's hair? Have you ever thought about how does Superman hair? How does he actually get his haircut? Because that's a good question. Anyone know the answer to that? Let me know in the chat. How does Superman actually get his haircut? Because he's like invincible, right, basically. I guess Superman himself would have to cut his hair, but he makes it look so good. He makes it look so in the movies. That is. Hexcrater says skipping across the bridge as you speak, says Hexcrater. The Valiant says added more to the solid X bag on the Alpha News, says Valiant. Yeah, it's coming. Hey, look, this stuff I wish I could show you, Valiant, but I'm just not at liberty, unfortunately. But that's definitely in play. What else there? We got Hexcrater in house there. Front run says Hexcrater. Yes, indeed. Doesn't look like it, says Wookie. Doesn't look like it. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much it. I think we ended up the show on an hour and 5 minutes. I think it's pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed the alpha drops today and the Magnificent 7. It's been pretty exciting. As you guys know, man, it's going to be pretty awesome coming forward. Now, obviously, we've got this Iranian thing, and it's, can't ignore that's kind of elephant in the room right now. So we'll see how far it takes the markets. Hopefully, Bitcoin can hold that 100K. That's the thing. We want to hold the 100K. I guess if it goes to 98K and then comes back, that's okay too. But really trying to hold on to 100K for Bitcoin during this, because we just don't know. Is it going to be a couple of day bombing raid? Is it going to all be done on one day? Because they took out a lot of the air defense. Remember, last time they were in Iran. So yeah, we shall see. Where's the Top Gun hat? Oh, the Top Gun hat is sitting on a hat hook. It's sitting on a hat hook at the front door. Good question there. Yeah, a good old Top Gun hat. I should probably put that on, and that will make me look less disheveled, and I'll get my Superman cowlick back. I naturally have a Superman cowlick, so there we go. It's pretty exciting. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think we're going to wrap up. Shall we wrap up? And let's play some little alpha videos on the way up, because I still think this is going to play out just like it is. We've got little attacking nuclear. It's like out being in a movie, attacking nuclear plants. Kind of crazy, but it's better for the world. A little bit of short-term pain for long-term gain. Valiant says, many thanks as always, Superman, and all in the chat, says Valiant. Nice one. All right. Let's finish off with some of those alpha videos. We're going to hear from Rael Paul, the billionaire that was on PulseChain. He broke the rule of diversification in portfolios, and I told you guys, you got to keep the diversification in your portfolio. No matter how good you think some projects are, you always got to keep that diversification, no matter how much. So, all right, let's play out this video. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Trading top tokens, crypto and PulseChain market updates. I think we went through that pretty well and got some pretty big alpha drops today. I mean, there's not much bigger alpha drops than that sort of stuff that we talked about today. So hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, let's play the video. Let's get rid of myself now. Let's get rid of me. I'm going. All right, see you guys. Catch you tomorrow on the next live show.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020. 2021, off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats, don't fuck this up, don't lose control of your tokens, don't use leverage, don't get your wallet hacked, just sit with it. Be careful, don't get FOMO, do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.